never thank. I never thank her. And that's myself, because I'm out here grinding. I feel like Issa Rae says entrepreneurship means doing that shit yourself. And I'm up all night. I'm building websites. I don't even know what that means. You know what I'm saying? I'm pushing out flyers. I'm picking up, ordering merch. Like, it's a lot.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Grind Time Podcast, where together we are turning our to-do list into our did list. My name is Evelyn LaChapelle, and I am your host, a startup entrepreneur. And I am here really just to show you the techniques that I am using every night to find gratitude in the things that I have gotten accomplished versus living in the anxiety of the things that I did not get done today. There's only 24 hours in a day. You can only do so much. I encourage you to grind as hard as you can, to be innovative, to find new ways to push the needle forward. But at the end of the night, when all is said and done, don't worry about what you didn't get done. Pat yourself on the back for what you did get done. So that's what we're doing on this podcast. Please subscribe, learn, and like. Building this podcast is a part of my entrepreneurial grind. I think we're in week 3, so I'm at the very beginning of this, and so you are supporting and helping me by subscribing, learning, and liking. That like button is important, and if you like it enough, please share and tell them to like it, because that's how we're gonna do. We're gonna grow together. So I'm just gonna jump right into what I did today as an startup entrepreneur, and then I'll show you how at the end of the day, I use this list to help myself sleep better at night. So today I woke up and let me tell you about my wake up. My wake up is I drop my daughter off at 7 a.m. But because I like to grind at night, I usually, if I go to bed early, it's at like 1 a.m. So when I drop her off, when I go to bed early, it's like 1 a.m. My favorite hour to go to sleep is about 4 a.m. So when I drop her off at 7:09, I come back and go to sleep. I'm trying my hardest not to. I'm really going to go to bed early tonight so that tomorrow I'm not going back to sleep. But I go back to sleep. I get up around 10, and that's when I get started. So I make my coffee, and I sat down today, and I had to call Payment Hub, which is my payment processor, which has been a pain in the ass because it's just like I'm using them as a high risk payment processor, and so the processes are just not as streamlined as they would be with a more standard banking system, and they're holding $1,100 of mine, and I want my money back. And I called them trying to figure out where it was, and they're like, oh, but you owe us 200, so pay us the 200 and we'll give you your 11. That's not how this is going to work. You're going to take your 2 out of my 11 and give me change. So I sat on the phone with them for a while. Neither parties got their money, but we're working on it. So called them this morning, then spent 4 hours in my social sales lab. That was a really huge investment for me. I really need to figure out how to run these ads to generate some income. And full transparency, I've been running ads for over 7 days, but not quite 14 days. But I have spent $300 on ads with no return on investment, no conversions to purchases. Um, I have had purchases, woohoo, and I've gotten much better with tracking where those purchases are coming from. So the purchases that came through my newsletter. So kudos for the consistency that I have had with my newsletters so far this new year. They're already generating purchases, and it gave me the thought to look into, like, so now next time I'm on YouTube, it's going to be how to create effective email campaigns. Like, let me figure out how to dive in on that, because right now I'm just doing what I know how to do, and there's got to be so much more. I won't stop at what I know how to do. But so I spent the 4 hours in the social sales lab because I need to figure out how to make these ads convert to purchases. They have been converting on plays and getting people into the funnel, so it's had some value, but I needed to have some cash value, if I'm being honest. So after that, I recorded 3 episodes of this Grind Time podcast. I'm super committed to being consistent and making sure you get an episode every night. So I did that. I then took eBay pictures. There's a running joke, or at least there's an internal running joke, because we're at the house talking to ourselves all day. So the internal joke is that I'm now an eBay model, because I put the camera on, I put on a dress, I take a couple flicks, and then I'm posting it on my eBay store. I've had the eBay store for about 2 weeks now, and I've already sold 3 items. So I don't feel like it's a huge waste of time anymore. I was at first, but I feel better about it. And so why not be an eBay model? You should too. If you got some shit laying around, it takes 2 minutes to put it on eBay. A few longer, add a few minutes if you're actually going to try the stuff on and model it. And then I'm ending the night. I just got finished. I'm in the process of content prep. So tomorrow is content day. We'll be recording some content for a couple of hours tomorrow. So I had to lay out my clothes. I'm getting prepared for wash day so that my hair, I'm going to braid my hair down tomorrow. Those of you who know what a braid down is know. I'm not going to explain it to those that don't know, but I'm going to wash it and braid it down and get ready for content day tomorrow. I have 2 really good friends, Jelani and Bailey, who have offered or committed themselves to helping me shoot content. Content is a super important part of your business, but it is not for everybody. And creating content for me is like a daunting task. I tried it this summer of like setting up the camera. Now I'm reading a book. Now I'm doing this. Can you record me doing this? And it makes me feel so awkward. And my ideas about like vanity was really holding me back. But what I am good at is this. I'm good at communicating. I'm good at sharing my ideas. I have value to add to conversation, to this business. I have insights. And so Jelani and Bailey and I have created ways for me to be able to share what I know, to create value added content without it needing to be like super cheesy. So I'm doing that tomorrow. That is, I gotta fix my hair, get some clothes on, put some makeup on. That portion of my day falls under like the boss time category or the boss time lifestyle. If you've been following the Wee Ladies journey, or if you have visited my gift shop called theweelady.com, then you know that the brand is split into 3 lifestyles. It's grind time, boss time, and break time. That's usually sativa, hybrid, and indica for your break time. But the boss time portion of my life, I don't get to step in that often because I'm too busy trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. So when I do get to step into boss time, it does feel good to be the face of the brand, to be the voice of the brand, to show up and representing the brand as the owner and founder and chief executive officer of the Wee Lady 87 by the Wee Lady. And so that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm stepping into boss time. And if you're not familiar with 87, 87 is what I launched the brand with. And it represents the 87 months that I spent in prison for depositing cannabis profits into my bank account. So I don't know that I've even shared that on the podcast yet, because I'm assuming that you know that if you're here. But the truth is, YouTube is a completely different audience, and you might not know that. So I spent 87 months in prison. That is 7 years, 3 months. I actually spent a total of 5 years in. I got some time off for being a good citizen and for completing the drug program. And I've been home ever since. I've been home for 5 years, almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in a couple weeks exactly. And I've been on this entrepreneurial grind ever since day one, since I stepped home. Car washes, hair salons, nonprofits, the gift shop, and a new idea that I just pulled the trigger on yesterday. So that's a little bit about me. I'm trying to make this less about me and more about you and more about us finding a ritual that supports our grind, that supports our journey. Oh, so let me get back to it. At the end of the night, after you have gone through everything that you still need to do and you're feeling all anxious about all of the shit that you didn't get done, I want you to go back to your list and read through it quickly. I called Payment Hub today looking for my money. I did 4 hours in the social sales lab. I recorded 3 episodes. I did my eBay pictures, and I am getting ready for content day tomorrow. It doesn't always feel like a lot. It especially doesn't feel like a lot when you didn't hear no deposits get into the bank account and you feel like sometimes a failure. And the truth is, it does feel like that sometimes. We're here feeling like failures quite often, but you got something done. You pushed the needle forward. You're not just sitting on your hands, as they would say. You're not laying in the bed frivolously watching TV. I bet you're not watching Love and Hip Hop because that's not your thing anymore now that you're on this grind until you did something. So pat yourself on the back, acknowledge your list, go take a break, go take a bath. If you don't have my CBD bath salts, you are tripping. They're on calltheweelady.com. If you don't have the Indica Sativa candle set for your break time, you are tripping. That is also on calltheweelady.com. So good night.